Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 10 Premium Heavy Tank, the T58 Heavy. Now this is a auto-loading heavy tank with a big gun. And that's because this tank has 750 alpha with 3 shells on its auto-loader. But there's a bit of a difference. It's not really your typical auto-loading tank, because it's got a 7.5 second intra-clip reload. So basically you can't do what a lot of autoloaders do, which means you have to play it differently. Because you can't just go in on someone and expect to delete them with a clip in a very, very short space of time. Because if you do that, there's likely they're going to get 2 to 3 shots into you before you get your whole clip out. You can do a mega amount of damage to them in return, but the thing is, that's just not the effective way to play the tank, because that means that you're going to struggle generally for the rest of the game, because you're going to lose a lot of hit points. And obviously in a tank like the T58, having your hit points to be able to take a hit, dish out the sort of 750 alpha is something that you will need. And yeah, it just means that you can't play that typical auto-loaded playstyle. You have to think of it more like a bit more like a single shot tank, and then just keep poking over or poking round, slapping a shot in, then pull back. Because realistically, the reload for the actual clip is really quite quick. I mean, 20 odd seconds for these 3 shells of 750 alpha is really fast. Just the intra-clip reload at 7.5 seconds is slow. So that tempers the way you have to play the tank, pretty much. You have to be a lot more careful. You have to be a lot less aggressive than you might do in an autoloader. And you have to be more measured in your shots as well, because obviously the gun is a little bit more derpy in that way. The mobility isn't the best on the tank, because you do have, I think it's only 35 kilometers an hour at top speed, which means, well, to be fair, that's similar to the T57 Heavy and the T110E5 as well. You do hit that top speed, which is decent, but you're not the most mobile. And obviously your armor is troll, is the way to put it. Your armor is troll, but it's not particularly great. So it's the type of armor that you'll probably pull off some ricochets here and there, but on the whole, should you expect to bounce shots with it, probably not. You shouldn't go in expecting to bounce lots of shots off your tank, because your lower plate they'll pen, and the turret cheeks are also weak spots as well. But you do have absolutely exceptional penetration on this T58 Heavy. I mean, you've got 276 pen on the standard AP round, which is phenomenal. It's just like a tank destroyer, because it basically is a tank destroyer gun. You have 370 pen on the heat rounds, which is just, oh boy, that's a lot of heat pen, which means you can just butcher so much stuff that you fire at. It's honestly dirty. But it's one of those tanks that is utterly satisfying to play for me, because when you do get the full clips out, when you hit people say 750 alpha bombs, it's like, oof, that's quite nice. And it's quite nice to have a sort of different type of playstyle as well, because it isn't just your typical drive up, dump a clip, pull back. You, like I say, you really have to be far more measured in the way that you attack things in this tank. So, what do I run in terms of the old crew on the T58 Heavy? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Track Mechanic, Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse better, so I can snap the turret round quicker to get the gun on target. All 3 gun perks, because this gun is a little bit derpy, because you do have 0.35 accuracy, which is again in the middle of the point where it's getting to a derpier level at that point. But because your shell velocity is only 870 meters a second, it feels exceptionally derpy, and obviously your accuracy during rotation on the move isn't that great either. So you just want to help out the tank as much as possible with the crew skills, so that this gun, because this tank is all about how hard this gun hits and how many you can get shells into with this gun, just making sure that that gun can actually hit the stuff, essentially. And then in terms of equipment, I run vents, gun stabilizer, optics. Gun stabilizer, again, to make the dispersion during traverse and the dispersion on the move better. And the vents to make the all-round tank better, generally, to make everything else, because it gives you that little boost to everything in the tank. And then optics to make my view range just good enough so that I can actually spot things, try not to get out-spotted too much, and you can basically get quite a lot of assistance on maps like Proc and other stuff like that. Although we didn't really need it for this game on Proc, because we've only got well, we've got no assistance whatsoever, but we have managed to dish out a lot of damage. So yeah, we're up to 6,078 damage here on Prokhorovka. The Type 5 Heavy is there on our left, which is why we're loading heat. We're just pushing, because look at where our team is. Our team is in a position where I was thinking, okay, if I push forward, I can possibly spot the stuff on the train tracks, the thing that actually tracked us. But we're not really spotting it at the minute. And the Heat 370 is going to absolutely butcher this poor Type 5 Heavy, because once you have like 330, 340 Heat Pen, poor Type 5s just have no hope whatsoever. Unless you bounce like that. Obviously, we just jinxed it. That's what we just did there. We just jinxed this poor tank and its heat rounds and bouncing like Type 5 Heavy. But hey ho, we're up to 7.5k damage. There's 5 tanks left on the enemy team. Just waiting on the reload. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the train tracks at F6. Because from here, we can look down the train tracks on our right, get some shots down range that way if they get spotted down there. We can get shots down on our left as well to get damage on the left for the guy that was spotted at A6. It's just a good position to take. Obviously, you've got to be careful because you can be in a crossfire, but yeah. We shut down the ISM there, which is nice. The Iron Rain is a position where I'm thinking, can I get a shot at this guy on the train tracks? Can't quite see him. We try and snap the shot in, and unfortunately we miss. Poor decision to really fire there on the Iron Rain because we weren't going to hit it. He starts taking all the hits. Make sure we aim the shot, and there we go. We get the top gun there from the Iron Rain, putting us up to 7.9k damage. The T58 Heavy spotted down at B6, but unfortunately it's looking more and more likely that we're not going to get the shot in as the Death Star absolutely deletes him. So there's only 2 tanks left on the enemy team. It's a medium tank and a light tank. In fact, the Brass just managed to kill himself somehow. So we've got just the light tank that we spotted down at F0. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and cut him off, because I feel like he's possibly going to run off towards A0 up that way. So we're going to try and push along the E line, try and see if we can spot the cross, just in case he does make that run. I mean, the light tank is rushing down there as well. And there we go. He's spotted the Trailblazer, who is in the little dip. And now we're just in a race against all of our team going, mine, 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 mine. And we want to get there because it's mine. I want the damage. But the machine's chasing in, the light tank's there, the machine's far quicker than us. We're taking as wide a berth as possible so that we can make it so that we can at least get an angle on this Trailblazer. But he takes the shot from the light tank, the machine shoots him and then shuts him down. So we don't quite get the shot into the Trailblazer there. But we finish the game with a nice victory. 6 kills, 7.9k damage, bit of assistance, the top gun, the high caliber, the first class, 1,584 base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the T58 Heavy. And that just showed, really, what T58 Heavy wants to be doing. And that is, you know, popping over, popping a shot, just keep dishing out the damage with the gun. Just keep on smashing those big alpha bombs into the enemy team. Because your alpha is a game changer. I mean, obviously, if someone attacks you, they're going to be scared of you a little bit. Because you do have that 2.2k clip, sure, but you hit them hard, so you have the fear factor in how hard you hit, and it's 26 seconds on the clip as you saw there. But yeah, so you have the fear factor in how hard you hit, so a lot of people are a little bit more cautious when they attack you, which gives you all the opportunities to basically keep your damage flowing and not take too many hits, because people are scared of you naturally, but also because your intro clip is that long, people don't quite get half the time if you're still loading or if you fired all your shells. So you'll fire all your shells into someone or at someone and they'll still be going, is he loading? Has he got a clip? And then they'll hesitate and hesitate and hesitate and then you reload. And it's glorious for that. So we start this game on Sand River with 758 damage, but we've taken 2 hits there from the IS-4 and the Object 430U, which is not a good trade. But now we're reloading the full clip, because I feel like I've got time to reload the clip, and while I wait for the clip, I can basically wait to get unspotted and come up here. Naturally, as I reload the clip, the 50 at the back of the map gets spotted, so I could have actually probably fired the 2 shells. I just wanted to have a full clip ready. But we're nearly loaded now. We've got the Contra Carro Mark II at the back to shoot. We get a shot straight through the side of that Contra Carro. Just waiting for the reload on the intro clip to see if we can get a shot into him, but can't quite do it. It's all about patience, like I say, with this auto-loader. You have to have patience. You can't just expect it to dump the shells. Have patience. Put yourselves in positions where you can flank and just keep getting shots off. And try not to be sort of too head-on in terms of your brawl, because obviously that's where you start to bleed hit points, and it's not going to go too well. We get a nice shot there through the side of the 705A turret, which is something that this tank can do because your penetration is so good. If you had any other tank there, it might not have gone through the side of that 705. Oh, that's a pat on the back, me. Pat on the back. That was a shot and a half on that guy there. We'll take that. Well played, me. Well played. Got a nice shot into the E50 side turret there, and we're up to 3k damage. Just waiting for the reload once again on this T58 because I just want to keep this pain trainer rolling. This pain train is just going to keep it rolling. The E50 gets shut down there. The fact that the Contra Carro is still at the back makes me hesitate a little bit. I do want to get stuck into these guys that are down below me. But if I can get above them and start shooting down into them, that would be great. But that Contra Carro at the back needs to get spotted and get out because obviously he will hurt us from over there. And then we've got to start thinking about what's going on up north because there's, what, 3 tanks spotted in the dip below me, Contra Carro at the back, and then there's still a lot of tanks left, which means that they're all probably up north, as there is a heavy tank currently spotted at B4. So I decide, okay, you know what? The medium tank's quite far advanced. He's not spotted the Contra Carro yet. Let's pull forward and put a shot straight through the upper plate of the IS-4. The Contra Carro's fired at someone else. He's focusing on that. So again, we're just going to come over, drop a shot into the IS-4, and unfortunately we bounce because we hit the one spot that we really couldn't pen there, shooting down on the IS-4. We now have the top of his turret, which is where we shot the shot in the first place. 558! 558! What? That? I want my money back! That's a poor roll there on that IS-4. The machine ended up coming over and getting 2 shots into us, which is annoying. It's like, Mr. Machine, god damn you, man. God damn you. And once again, we're nearly loaded. We have the side of the turret here of the Contra Carro. If we could get a shot into this guy, that'd be great. Fantastic. The shot goes straight into that Contra Carro. Puts him down to a 1-shot for the guys over there. We still have 2 shots left. And I'm thinking, do I go for the IS-4 or do I look for this machine? You know what? These guys below me are distracted. Let's go for the machine. Pop the shot straight through his drive wheel because you can pen and track a machine exceptionally easy through the drive wheel at any kind of angle because it only has 30mm of armor, which means you overmatch it. Then we finish off the 430U, so the guys behind me have got the ability to attack the TD at G5 without getting shot in the side by the 430. Now we're waiting for the reload, and we can go again after the machine that is in front of us. Because again, we're in a nice position here because we do have good gun depression on this tank because we have 8 degrees of gun depression, which means we can use a ridgeline pretty effectively. That means we can do stuff like this, pop over, shot straight through the drive wheel of the Conqueror, tracks him in place, just waiting for the intricate reload. Like I say, I mean, 7.5 seconds is long, but for 750 alpha, it's not that bad. I mean, if you think about it, there's a 7.5 second reload for 750 alpha. It really doesn't feel that bad. And now we can pop over, get a shot into the machine, looking for the cupola shot, slap it straight in for 717. We're up to 7.8k damage. There's 2 tanks left, an IS-7 and a Conqueror. And this is, again, where the T58 is quite nice because we've dropped the clip. And then within, really, the blink of an eye, we have the 3 shells ready to go once again. So the IS-7 is directly in front of us. There's a Conqueror on the other side at C1, and I really hope I can get some shells into this IS-7. It would be glorious. He takes a hit from the side. He's coming out. It's like, hello, Mr. IS-7. Oh, there goes his head. Beautiful scenes. That's lovely. We'll take that. We're up to 9.5k damage thanks to that Armour. Beautiful things. And the last tank on the enemy team, the Conqueror, gets shut down. And we finished the game with a really great total there for the T58 Heavy. Finished with the victory, 3 kills, 9.5k damage nearly, 1100 assistance, the ace tanker, the high caliber, the 1772 base XP. A really great game there for the American Tier 10 Premium Heavy tank, the T58 Heavy. A tank that I do enjoy because of that alpha. I get why people might not enjoy it because of the fact that obviously the intro clip's long and you've got to get used to that sort of thing, but I just, because of how hard it hits, that's why I really do enjoy this tank. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!